everybody. My name's John. I work for a Thai property company called Ananda Development, which I'm sure has triggered three questions. First of all, why is a property developer speaking at a startup tech conference? Second of all, why is a Thai property developer speaking at a Scandinavian tech conference? And finally, John, that doesn't seem like a very Thai name. So let's see if I can answer those three questions as I go through. Warning, this presentation is normally a 45-minute presentation. Rather than edit it down, I decided I'd just speak twice as fast. So if there's anything that you miss while I'm going through this, I will be around for the next couple of days. Feel free to approach me. I am more friendly than I appear. And then we have two very smiley people who are about to wave. Right, who will be around for the 2 days. Feel free to approach her and Gong as well, where he is around. Okay, I am the CSDO of Ananda Development, which means I do the strategic development, the new stuff for the company, new business lines. I run the corporate venture capital, start big new things for the company. My background is actually in innovation in the UK. I had a company in Cambridge called Enterprise Accelerator. This company, we helped early stage companies all across the UK, worked for the government, Nesta, owned a quarter of the company at some point, did a lot of stuff through that. Ananda Development, we're a property developer, primarily a residential developer. We're actually the #1 property developer in Thailand. We're the largest residential developer. We began the company a long time ago, but the current business that we're in right now, we only started in 2006. And the condo development business, I say we started it in 2006, but we didn't really get the business going until about 2012. So in startup terms, you can consider the period 2006-2012, we're getting our product market fit. And then because up until WeWork, VCs wouldn't fund real estate companies, and after WeWork, they probably won't again, then actually our Series A was the IPO. So after the IPO, we had the capital to actually execute on our business model, and since then, we grew our market share from less than 5% to more than 25% in 4 years. And in fact, we're going through a growth phase where we're growing 10x in 7 years. And we're doing that with no new capital while reducing our debt to equity ratio and doing it with no land bank. So anyone who has a background in real estate or finance will have realized that what I just said is impossible. It's just mathematically impossible for a company that is highly capital intensive projects, long project cycles, where you can't grow that fast. The math doesn't work. But we're a public company, we're audited by EY, so we're not cooking the books. We did actually manage to do it, which is part of the reason why I keep getting invited to conferences, to find out how is a company that is literally a brick and mortar company, how are we managing to grow like a tech company? So part of the answer is how we deal with partnerships. Unusually among Thai companies and very unusually among real estate companies, we've always worked well with foreigners. Prudential's the American Prudential, Mitsui Fudosan's the largest real estate company in Japan, and Capital Land is Ascot is the largest service department operator in the world. So we've been partnered with these companies for a while. Mitsui Fudosan, as I say, largest property developer in Japan. We partnered with them, first project 2013. We now have over $5 billion worth of projects with them. We are their third largest profit center outside of Japan. The whole of the US is #1, the whole of the UK is #2, and Ananda's #3. So a lesson to take away from this is whatever you think about smaller secondary markets about Thailand, they are capable of growing fast and growing big if you have the right kind of partnership with the right kind of company. I'm pretty sure if somebody had asked Mitsui in 2012, where do you think your third largest market will be in 6 years' time, they wouldn't have said Thailand. Okay, now the fact that we've grown so fast, 10x in 7 years, going from 5% market share to 25% market share, you might think has meant that we cut corners. But actually, under the largest independent brand survey, we became the most trusted brand in condos. And also our quality rate, which is measured the initial quality by zero defect rate, we went from being the same as industry average to being double the industry average. So again, how did we manage to get all this done in what is literally a brick and mortar business? How did we manage to grow like an innovation company? I say we believe the answer is because we handle innovation like a technology company. So this is just a small selection of the innovations that we brought in since the IPO in the 4 years after. But the key thing here is we've innovated in every aspect of the business, from using data and analytics to understand the value of location, to understand the demographics, slice and dice them better, to understand using data better and faster than our competitors, how marketing is working with customers, different channels, design innovation. We do a lot of what we call rapid prototyping. We have a warehouse. We build lots of mock-up rooms out of cardboard. We run focus groups through them, so we're rapid prototyping all the time. We send teams all around the world to study yacht builders, micro apartment builders in the Netherlands and Manhattan and places like that. So we came up with this unit here, the 21 square meter, that when we run focus groups through it, the size that they estimate it to be is 30 square meters. So it shows, even in an industry like ours, as old as it is, you can make people feel that where they're living through good design is 50% bigger than it really is. So you can apply design here, even in such an old industry. We managed to achieve this result, which means that people are getting 50% better quality of life for the same money, purely through design, through intellectual property. We were the first company in the world to market a renminbi perpetual security. Not first Thai company or property company, but first company in the world. We're supported by CITIC, the Chinese State Bank, and Barclays, the British investment bank, which again shows, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you are. We were a tiny little Thai company at the time, but we're at the leading edge of global financial innovation. On the strategic innovation in terms of production, just to summarize the whole range of innovations, in 4 years, we managed to reduce the time it takes to build a 20-story building from the industry average of 24 months to 14 months. And since then, we brought it down to 12 months. And we did that while, as you saw from that, doubling the quality, and we kept the costs the same. So it shows it doesn't matter what industry you're in. Even in what is literally the third oldest human activity, hunting, gathering, rolling a rock in front of the cave door, real estate, literally brick and mortar, literally moving cement around, you can bring in innovation that in a very short period of time will have a disruptive effect. So this is just to show it doesn't matter the industry, doesn't matter where you are. And you can be sure when a competitor comes in and goes from 5% to 25% market share in 4 years, that certainly felt like disruption to our competitors. This is another example of how we're digitizing our entire value chain. I'll just talk about two here. One is Procore, which is basically Slack for construction management. It's a Texas company. It's a unicorn right now, still a private company. I think its last valuation was $3 to $4 billion. We were their first customer in Southeast Asia, and actually their second customer in Asia. The first one was in South Korea, and they're doing a Thai language version for us. So again, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter where the best technology is, you can make it fit together. And then this one, Alice, I'll talk about a little bit more. Alice is artificial intelligence technology that came out of Stanford's artificial intelligence labs. It applies artificial intelligence to construction management planning. And when we implemented this, we found that on top of the 50% reduction in time we'd already achieved, we could achieve another 16%. Or we could achieve 13% cost saving. Or if we balance the two, we could save 10% time and 10% cost. Remember, this is just software. This is just software, and it's, even though we're moving cement and steel around, it's able to have that effect. So again, it shows it doesn't matter what industry you're in, you can have these kind of effects. The other thing to note from this is that, as I say, Alice was a spin out from Stanford University. And when they came out, they knew they had the resources to do 5 projects. So their initial projects were with Google. Obviously, Google's building a lot of buildings in Silicon Valley. They understand technology. Facebook, same reason. University of California healthcare system, Nike, and then the 5th one was us. So again, it shows, doesn't matter what industry you're in, doesn't matter the size of your company, doesn't matter where you are in the world, or if you're the software provider, you might find a good customer like us wherever we are in the world. This is Samsung SmartThings. You all know Samsung, largest electronics company in the world. SmartThings is their IoT platform. We were the very first company to launch that in the world. We launched it back in 2014. It was so new that we built this mock-up room in a shopping mall to display it, and they were literally flying the equipment in on somebody's lap the night before on an airplane from the labs in South Korea. Unfortunately, it's taken a little bit longer to get market ready than we all anticipated, but regardless, we were the first in the world to launch it. So again, why does a property company spend so much time on innovation? Why do we go all around the world? Why do we do this stuff? Why do we trial this stuff? Because we think we're living in a world that's being disrupted. You've all seen this one a billion times. This is an example of the kind of threats that we see coming. Just one single technology like blockchain has the potential to disrupt all these different aspects of our business. Any of these could potentially put us out of business if one of our competitors or somebody we don't even know about yet understands and uses this better than we do. We also pay a lot of attention to things like mobility, because we believe that mobility is the flip side of location. People pay a premium to live in a certain location to overcome the pain of getting from there to where they want to go. Change mobility, change the value of location. So we partner with Grab, which is the Southeast Asian version of Uber. They actually bought Uber. This is a company called Ehang as an example. It's a Chinese passenger drone company. We brought them to Thailand just to explain to us what's going on, what's happening with that. This is something we talk about when we first started using this slide, somebody else's slide. It was kind of a joke, the fact that millennials don't want to own things anymore. They just want everything to be a service. And this was a joke, dresses for $4 a day. Now there are $2 billion market cap companies that rent out clothes by the day. So the world is moving so fast. What was a joke 4 years ago at $1 billion companies now. And again, we've all seen this one. Look at Thailand, where we are. 72% of jobs at risk of automation. What are we going to do? Who are we going to sell condos to if 72% of our customers don't have jobs? So this all leads through to, again, this slide, which I'm sure all of you have seen variations of before, but basically it shows that because of disruption, the average lifespan of corporations is falling. In 1930, the average lifespan of a Fortune 500 company was 90 years. Today, depending on what stats you listen to, it's less than 15 years. So Fortune 500 companies, by definition, are the 500 companies with the best resources, with the smartest people, with the best distribution channels, with the strongest brands, with the most money. But they can't keep themselves alive longer than 15 years. So what this told us, and the way we implemented an innovation strategy to match all these things that I've been telling you that delivered the results that I told you at the beginning, was that the traditional method of corporate innovation has broken down. And one of the key things that's driven it to break down, say since 1997, is the building of the global internet. Because when Edison built Edison Research Labs in Menlo Park, New Jersey in the 19th century, he had no way of knowing what was even happening in his own country. He had to wait a few days for news to come in from California. But today I can sit in Bangkok and I know instantly everything that's happening in Silicon Valley and in Tel Aviv and in Cambridge and in Copenhagen. And I can speak to anybody instantly for free. So the entire world is at my fingertips for free and instantly, which brought us to the realization. We have about 1,200 people working in our headquarters, 10,000 if you include the sites. But that means there are 7.3 billion brains that don't work for Ananda. And even if you're a huge company like Samsung, 500,000 employees, there are still 7.3 billion people, 7.3 billion brains that don't work for Samsung. So it means whatever you're doing internally is meaningless compared to what's happening in the rest of the world. So that changed our innovation strategy from the classic one of asset management, hiring the smartest people, building the best equipped labs, generating the best IP, commercializing it and defending it better than anyone else. The asset management model, it's what we call the access management model. Whoever is the fastest to find the technology or ideas or innovations you need wherever they are in the world, and then the most agile to deploy it to your customer is going to be the winner. So changing from asset management to access management. So in terms of the access management, how we do it as a tiny company, we have what we call our urban tech strategy, where we run and support events. So last year we supported 70 events. And to give you an idea of the kind of resources this takes, we have 3 staff to do this. And the budget to run these 70 events, some of them were big, and we actually brought in sponsorship. Oh, I have 3 minutes left. But we actually made a surplus on this. So we ran 70 events. Some of them are like really 5 minutes? Okay. Some of them, like we did the first ever Singularity University Summit in Southeast Asia, where the invitees, 50% of Thailand's GDP, people who control 50% sat in that room. We did the first exponential manufacturing. We brought over the Rocket Man. This became viral, got us a lot of attention. We brought over Cambridge, Berkeley, Stanford University to our office in Bangkok. We brought in the leaders of the top 40 Thai universities to learn from the 3 best universities in the world at tech transfer, how to do tech transfer. They'd never been together in the world before. We do things like sponsor the National Drone Academy. She just became an international champion because we sponsored her. This is to inspire Thai kids to want to learn about these kind of things. Now, the other side, so that's the access management. You can see we have access to anything we want in the world. Singularity, Stanford, Cambridge. Access has worked. I used to talk quite confidently about the agility side, how we get those technologies to deploy back at the company level. I don't now, because some of it's works, some of it doesn't. You can come and talk to me later about this. But one of the things I want to say is that Ananda, tiny little property company in a developing world, literally in a brick and mortar business, but we've managed to be able to be first in the world at all kinds of things. First in the world, not just first in Thailand. And as I said, there's nothing special about us, nothing. Some of you may have noticed I'm not Thai, but the company is Thai. There's, out of 1,200 people in headquarters, there's 3 expats, founded by a Thai customers, Thai everything. We're able to do it. So what this says, the lesson to take from this is, first of all, that your partners may be in unusual places, in unusual businesses, and the ability to innovate and disrupt can be in all kinds of industries, even though you may not have thought of it. The second is for all of us, doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter what industry you're in, doesn't matter how big you are, anybody can be first in the world and best in the world at anything. Okay, the other thing, final slide, sales pitch for Thailand. One of the things that helps us is Thailand right now is building its mass transit system. It opened its first station in 1999. By 2024, it will be bigger than the world's oldest mass transit system that first opened its first station in 1863. So the Thais will build a bigger mass transit station in 25 years than the UK did in 170. So when you change transportation, you change where and how people live, how they move around. You disrupt everything about their lifestyle. So everything in Bangkok right now is very fluid. Everybody's lifestyle is changing. So this means we've got a city of 12 million people who are all early adopters. So if you're looking to do anything in innovation, come and talk to us, or at least come and talk to a Thai company. And while we're here, come and talk to me or the other smiley people who are around. Okay, thank you very much.